Hey, what is up, everyone? Kamisha here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do excuse the delay with the timing of today's live. However, unforeseen circumstances, we are here now. So thanks so much for tuning in. For those of you that will be tuning into our replay, thank you so much. We appreciate you as well. We understand that everybody cannot always get to these lives at the time that they are first broadcasted. So, whether you're watching a replay or you're watching it live today, we thank you for tuning in. Now, let's get into why we're here. Why are we here? Why are we live? We are talking all about our 2025 expectations. 2025 expectations. And I believe that this is such an important topic because your expectations will help you produce the results that you want to achieve for this upcoming year. Like I said, we are only a couple hours away from 2025. That just sounds so different, even saying that number. But nonetheless, we're excited about it. And I know that I am looking forward to everything that 2025 has in store for me. So, as we get into this, feel free to chime in, feel free to comment, feel free to join the discussion. I know we are broadcasted live on a couple different platforms at this point in time, but wherever you are, just go ahead and comment. Let us know that you are here. And I think that if you are on the YouTube platform, you do have to be a subscriber to comment or join. So go ahead and, if you're watching from YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can be able to join our discussions. But if you are on the other platforms, you would definitely be able to comment and chime in. So, what are the expectations that you have for yourself this year? That's the one question I want to start with asking you, because if you don't have an expectation, then you don't know how to get a result, right? You can only get a result from whatever you are expecting from your life. And this is in all facets of our being, like your finances, your lifestyle, your growth, your goals, your achievements. Where do you see your life in the upcoming year? That is what we are basing our expectations on. How do you want your life to look? How do you want your life to sound and feel? How do you want to feel in your body, your mind, and your health, right? Because in order for us to really say we want to gain something great out of the year, we have to be expecting what we want to gain. I know for myself, my expectations are always high, but specifically this year, I do have some things that I'm expecting to happen in the year of 2025. And so, as a result of my expectations, I got to put in some actions, right? I have to put in some work. I have to put in um, some diligence and some consistency to see these things come to life. All right, so we're going to start with talking about some of the ends, right? I'll be sharing with you guys as we go along. And let me get my phone so I can see if I can be able to comment to any of these discussion chime ins. I may not see your comment right away. I am getting used to this new system that I'm using. So bear with me if you comment and I'm not able to see it right away, or if I don't reply. I'm definitely not ignoring you in the least. I may just not have it come up on my end yet. Okay. So, getting into the ends, what are some ends that you guys are looking forward to this coming year? And what are ends? Ends are things that you are taking with you as we cross over from 2024 into 2025. Ends are some things that you are taking with you, right? What are some habits that you've developed this past year that have been working for you, that have landed you success? Some changes that you may have made within yourself that you realize actually really were a benefit to you this year. Those are some ends that you would probably be carrying with you in this upcoming year of 2025. I know for myself, I had an end this year that really helped me, and that was becoming more intentional with my connections. I became so much more intentional with the connections that I had this year, and it changed my life for the better. I did not necessarily gain like new friends per se, but I just became more intentional about the people that I surrounded myself with, the connections. I really fostered my close relationships in a great way. And as a result, those relationships came closer in my life. So, when I say intentionality, I could say that my marriage has grown. as a result of being intentional about that relationship. We always have to be working on every relationship in our lives, no matter how good it might be, or, how we feel like it's a common denominator to our lives. Even your marriage, you have to constantly be intentional to working on growing that. And that's definitely something I saw a result of. I've had close friendships this year that have gotten closer as a result of my intentionality and the other person's intentionality in really fostering that important relationship. I was intentional about my workspace, and how I performed on my job. I was able to just examine where I was in my career and see where I wanted to be better. And so that way I was able to kind of foster more intentionality in those relationships. I received a raise on my job this year, which was great, and I'm very thankful for it. I believe that that was a result of me being more intentional with the way that I do my job and just my work in overall spaces. So that's some of my ends. You guys feel free to share with me some of your ends as we go in. And like I said, if there is no chiming in, that's totally fine, because I have plenty things that I can talk about as far as ends. I would say another end that I incorporated in my personal life this year was focusing more on my health and my wellness. Focusing on my health and wellness definitely was an added benefit to my life. I have always been a overall generally healthy person. I've never been admitted to a hospital, never had a sickness or an illness beyond like a common cold, or I think I've gotten the flu one time in my life. So I've not really been a sick person. But when I say that one of my ends was focusing on my health and wellness, I made more of a habit to pay attention to what my body needed as far as consistency in my food intake, making sure that I was getting enough sleep. That is a part of our health and wellness, guys. Making sure we get enough sleep every night is so important. And that's one of the things that I feel like we tend to overlook, is getting adequate sleep. That is a part of your health and wellness. Sometimes when we say health and wellness, people are thinking about dieting and working out and going to the gym. And all those things are a part of it, right? They're a part of it, but they're not everything. So when I was focusing on my health and wellness this year, I kind of took a step back and I really looked at what I desired out of my life. And that came into the short term desires and goals, and even into the long term desires and goals. And that really helped me become more intentional about my health. So some of the things that I do to maintain my health and wellness is I make sure that I keep up with my doctor's appointments and my doctor's visits, because I do believe in being proactive as a person. Excuse me. I believe in being proactive as a person and not just being reactive, meaning like a proactive person is going to go to the doctors, get annual checkups or semi-annual checkups, make sure that everything's operating well. We go to the dentist twice a year. I know that I am big on going to the dentist every 6 months for cleaning and a checkup, x-rays. Also because I previously had braces, I'm wanting to maintain the investment of what I put into that. So I'm always going to the dentist, going to the doctors, getting in health examinations and things like that. So as a result, you're able to monitor your body, your health, get those test results that you might need, just to make sure that you're doing your part as an individual to optimize your health. I am not an advocate for skipping out on the doctor and, waiting until something happens to you to go to the doctor, because you guys know, as we see, sometimes that can be late in the game if we have that approach and mentality. So I've learned and I have seen a result as being proactive when it comes to my health has been a great blessing and a great benefit to my life. And when it comes to my wellness, like I said, doing things like getting enough sleep at night. Now, we all have days where we kind of go to bed later than we should, and we have to wake up very early. Those are okay on occasion, but that shouldn't be a regular thing in our lives, because we want to maximize our bodies, our health, and all of those things. So that's something that I definitely incorporated. Also, my mental health. Optimizing my mental health has been something that I really paid a lot of attention to this year, focused on really preserving my peace, right? Preserving my peace and my joy. My joy is something that keeps me going, it keeps me productive, it keeps me thriving in the day to day world, it keeps me being able to maneuver and do the things that I'm assigned to do. So, as a result, one of my ends was intentionally protecting my joy and my peace. How does that look for me? Avoiding situations, circumstances, environments, people that might come to rob my joy, right? Being unapologetic about being around other joyful people and abstaining from people that do not produce joy or peace in my life. So I was very intentional about that. And it was not anything personal, it wasn't anything that I made an announcement about, but it was just something that I was very intentional about. Limiting my interactions with certain individuals that I felt, this person might be great. I love them so much, but they do not really produce peace and joy in my life, or they, do not create the presence of peace and joy to the level that I might want to be experiencing that in my own life. So, kept myself out of draining situations, draining conversations, um, just environments that did not foster the result that I wanted. And as a result, it was very, very beneficial for me, very beneficial for me to do that. So that's an end that I'm taking with me in 2025. I am taking that with me, being intentional about my relationships, being intentional about my health, being intentional about my wellness. And I think this year I'm even going to hold myself more accountable in those areas, which means that some things that I did last year, I may not do this year. Some things that I need to incorporate this year that I did not do last year, I'll be making those necessary changes, because I did a video on YouTube called How to Level Up the Right Way, in a way that will actually last. And if you guys are on my YouTube channel, I invite you to go check it out and see what that is all about, because I was really talking about being able to make changes in your life that will not just be like temporary. Make changes in your life that will not just be temporary, but changes in your life that will be for the better. Um, I'm going to put that in here really quick. So, yeah, those are some things that I talked about in that video. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging tight on that. Thank you so much. But yeah, I just put that in the bottom. So yeah, I talk about leveling up in a way that is not just quick, but a way that is actually lasting and permanent. And some of the things that I did talk about in that video was optimizing your health and wellness. So those are some ends that I'm going to be taking. Let me talk about another end that I'll be carrying along with me in the year 2025, and that is having proper boundaries. Having healthy, proper boundaries is something that I'll be carrying along with me in this upcoming year. I believe having boundaries in your life is so important, and knowing how to care for yourself, right? Knowing how to hold yourself accountable for the decisions that you make, how to have healthy relationships. In order to have healthy relationships, you've got to establish healthy boundaries. Otherwise, you will fall into situations such as people pleasing, right? You'll become a doormat. Um, you'll become overworked. You'll become a person that might be taken advantage of in certain situations. Um, you can become overall frustrated. You can become resentful. You can become burnt out. These are all effects of a person who does not have healthy boundaries. So it's really important that we look in the mirror and we establish healthy boundaries within ourselves. I know a lot of times when we hit like a new year, a new season, we come out of it sometimes frustrated. We say things like, I'm not being nice to people anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. This year, I'm not doing that anymore. And all that speaks to is the level of boundaries that we have incorporated or lack thereof. If you constantly work on your boundaries as a person, then you won't have situations where you feel like you were um, unappreciated or overworked, or that you gave more than you received, because you'll always be monitoring that in your everyday life. So that's definitely something that if you're watching, you might feel like you need to examine. Could be your level of boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with recognizing that you need to increase your boundaries as a person. What else? What else are some other ends? Budgeting your finances. I think this is important for any person in any walk of life, is budgeting your finances and knowing how to take hold of your financial life, your financial stewardship. Because we all have goals, and no matter what your goals are, somewhere in there, money is necessary. Finances are needed, whether you want to buy a new car, you want to get a new house, you want to start a business, all of those things. You want to save more money for your children, you want to help your children get into a certain school. No matter what the goal is, somewhere down the line, money can help that goal. So, having financial stewardship is so important because it helps us to be able to manage effectively what we have been given, because we're all just managers over the money that we have access to. So, you can either be a person that is maintaining your money, which means like you get money and you're able to maintain a good budget, you're able to pay your bills, you're able to maintain food on the table, or you may be in a place of a deficit, where if you're in a place of financial deficit, that's where you really want to be focusing on understanding your financial obligations, your financial stewardship, because sometimes, as even being in a deficit, it might not be that you're not making enough money, but it could be that you're just not managing your money in the best way possible. So you could be making enough money to get food on the table, pay your bills, so forth and so on, but you may be overspending in a certain area. You might be wasting money in another area. You may be overspending in another area. There could be different things. It's not always the same for everybody, right? But if you are in a financial deficit, there are ways to help that. So, one of the ends of 2025 is managing those finances. And then you could be in a place of surplus, where not only are you making money, and you're able to save money and you're able to pay your bills and manage your finances, but you also have some money left over. And if you're one of those people, you are in a great financial place, I would encourage you to stay there and even try to find ways to maximize that surplus. Because those of us who may have levels of surplus coming in, there are ways that we can double that income. We can expand that income. We can give to charities. We can give to the poor. We can give to other areas of service, other organizations. We can start an organization with the money that we have for surplus. So I believe that's where we all would like to be, is in a place of financial surplus, where we're not worried about just maintaining everything we need, but we have some left over to do other things. So if that's something that you feel like you need to do this year, you can add that to your list of ends. Let's see what else. So, financial stability and stewardship, health, wellness, intentional relationships, setting healthy boundaries, right? Those are all ends. Those are all ends for 2025. Those are my ends. Those are personal ends for myself. Um, for some people, some ends might be to expanding your network, meeting more people, making more friends, right? That could be your end, is if you are a person that wants to establish more connections. I would say in doing that, being your authentic self is the way to go. Having an authentic personality, having an authentic way of communicating with others, being yourself, being consistent, right? We have to be consistent when it comes to fostering relationships, fostering networking relationships, or even professional relationships. If you're a real estate agent and your goal this year is to sell the most houses than you've ever sold, well, I would hope that you have a goal that goes along with selling more houses of communicating more, reaching out to more people, advertising yourself more, attending more networking events so that you can then meet your prospect clients, talking more about what you do to your family, talking more about what you do to your friends, maybe getting out of your comfort zone and starting a page or starting a channel or doing whatever it takes for you to actually expand your awareness, right? I'm big on expanding your reach and your awareness because no matter what your occupation is, there is someone that needs what you do, and there's someone that needs what you have on the inside of you. So, just using an example of real estate, if you're planning on selling 100 houses this upcoming year, then you better be going to those mixers, you better be going to those networking events, you better be having a call log and a database that you'll be able to reach out to those prospect clients. That's very important. Like I said, whatever you expect, it goes along with what you may receive and the results that you will come into. Whatever you're expecting is what you can look to happen. If you don't expect anything, then you may not receive anything. If you don't work toward anything, then there's no place to go. There's no destination, right? No destination. So yeah, that's just some of the ends that we've been talking about, and let's continue on. Okay, so I was just checking to make sure that we're still live on all platforms, and we are. I want you guys to take a look at a quick video that I'm going to share, and this is a video based off of the business of Live the Vision, and we are going to just share this briefly with letting you know who we are, what we do in a quick video form. So stay tuned and I'll be right back with you. And then when I come back, we're going to actually talk about our outs, things that we are not carrying with us in this upcoming year. Okay, be right back.
I believe everyone has some sort of dream living down on the inside of them. But there's a big difference in having a dream that you think about and a vision that you're actually walking toward every day. My name is Kamisha Young, and I am the CEO and founder of Live the Vision. I've been blessed to work for some amazing companies, and within those roles, I've been able to train, develop, and help others reach their success. I've always been ignited by the success of other people, so I knew it was time for me to launch out when my passion began to be all around me. At Live the Vision, we are a full-service company. Our proposition for Live the Vision is clarity, confidence, and excellence. We want to give you the tools that you need so that you can gain clarity on the vision for your personal life or your professional life. We want to give you everything you need so that you can walk in confidence toward those goals. And lastly, we want you to be able to carry out your vision with excellence, whether that be taking your career to the next level or your personal life. We have different components of our business, which would be workshops for those who want to gain knowledge and resources and connect with other like-minded individuals. We also host an annual conference for anybody to come and receive all that they need to take their life to the next level. We also offer executive and personal coaching. You can work with myself one-on-one through an intensive, personalized, and strategic plan for your next steps. And finally, our full-service website offers digital resources for people all around the world who want to gain access to their personal development during their own time and at their own pace. We look forward to serving you in any way that we can, and we invite you to visit our website, www.livedivisionco.com, where you can take advantage of our full-service website. You can sign up for one of our workshops or book a one-on-one coaching with myself. I cannot wait to help you work on your personal and professional development so that you can take your vision to the next level.
All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks so much for tuning into that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So this upcoming year, Live Division will be accepting private clients. We have translated our business and kind of transitioned over into accepting private clients only. So our client list will be available on livedivisionco.com, but you will have to be approved in order to work with us, just to make sure that you are a correct fit for what you and I are looking to do. Okay, so that's that. Let's move on into the outs, some outs of 2025. Now, outs are some things that we are leaving. We are leaving. We are not carrying it with us this upcoming year because they either have not been productive for us. We may have discovered that they were not beneficial, and we are just growing beyond them, right? So in order to grow into who you're supposed to be, who you're called to be, who you were created to be, you have to outgrow some things. You have to outgrow some systems, some people, right? Some situations, some habits. It's just a normal part of life. So getting into the outs, I know that some outs for myself this upcoming year will be trying to do everything. I have adopted more of I know that I am a person that has multi-talents and multi-abilities, but I am leaving in 2024 the need to do more than what I should be doing in that period of time, right? So I've honed in on, okay, 2025 is upon us. What does Kamisha need to be focused on this year? And I've become very unapologetic and free to the place that maybe I have done something very well one year, but that doesn't mean that I have to carry that over to 2025, right? Because I believe that our gifts and talents are for God, and we give God glory through doing those things in the time frame and season that He shows us that it's needed to be done. Excuse me, guys. I left my water downstairs, but so for example, I may have been very heavily involved in in-person mentorship in the previous years. And as I am still a mentor, and by the way, while I'm here, lifegirlsmentoring.com is still active. We still have our website. We are still a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are still open to mentoring young girls in South Carolina. We are still open to fostering relationships with young girls and promoting high standards and self-esteem with those young ladies. However, in the year of 2025, I do have some other assignments in front of me. So mentorship may not be at the forefront of my abilities this year. But thankfully, because we have a website and we have other systems that are put in place, I am still a mentor, and I still will be mentoring, and I still do mentor in other facets and other capacities. But I can remember back in 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, and on up until I think this past year, I was heavily mentoring, having mentorship classes like every week or every other week. Even during the pandemic, when I was unofficially mentoring before we became a 501c3, I was mentoring virtually because we were not able to really meet in person a lot during COVID. So I was mentoring young ladies virtually, very consistently. We were doing workouts on virtual. We were doing discussions virtually. We were just in there. We were taking trips. We went to view a couple of colleges. We went out of town. We had overnight trips. So mentorship was very heavily in the forefront of my assignments in those previous years. But now my roles are shifting and my assignments are being delegated differently. So one of my outs is realizing that I don't have to try to do everything in the same capacity every year, because where I was maybe directed or freed up to do that more, I may not be doing that exact thing this year, and it's okay, right? So overall, I would just say an out for me is trying to manage everything. That is an out for me. I'm not trying to do everything that I can do, but I'm doing only what I should do and what I am assigned to in this season. And it's a great thing, right? Because I have grown to a place where I have different capacities, different assignments that I'm focused on. Okay. So yeah, those of you that are watching, if you're a person that always feels like you have to do everything at once, then maybe one of your outs would be, pausing and not overworking yourself, not not trying to be everything to everyone, but really taking time to focus in on your current season and your current assignment. Another out for me. What is another out for me? I would say any form of clutter, any form of clutter. I've never been a person that has enjoyed clutter in any way possible. So an out for me would be like decluttering. And I would say more for me is it's an organizational thing. I believe I'm going to get rid of one of my email addresses because I've had this email address for quite some time. And a lot of what goes to that inbox is like things that I don't really care to receive, whether it be advertisements or previous businesses I used to work with or previous purchases I've made, and I no longer work or want to purchase from this company. So, like unsubscribing to those things. That is one of my outs for the year of 2025. Mhm. That is one of my outs. What is another one outs that you may have? Those of you that may be watching the replay, feel free to chime in. What are some of the outs that you might be working on leaving behind this upcoming year? Another good out that I feel like a lot of people need to incorporate is people pleasing. Having a people pleasing mentality is never going to help us in the long run, even though you may be seen as the go to person or the person that does everything for everyone, or you never say no. You always try to get it done no matter what. But one of the outs that I think is important is learning how to say no. You have to learn how to say no when it's time to politely decline, when it's time to politely unsubscribe, when it's time to politely disconnect or politely dismiss yourself from situations and circumstances that no longer benefit your life and your destiny. That is an out of saying politely, no, thank you. I thank you for your invitation. I'm not able to attend, or just declining altogether, right? Some declining that we need to do is nonverbal, but it's going to be more so action oriented, right? Some conversations that we no longer want to be a part of. It doesn't require us making no type of announcement about it. We just know that we are no longer partaking in that. So that is an out. What else? I think for me, I have not a lot of outs because I've been very mindful this year of the life that I'm stewarding. And so I feel like I have done a lot of groundwork in 2024, whereas in 2025, I just need to maintain it. I just need to maintain that. So yeah, I hope that this live was beneficial, helpful, and insightful for you. And what I really hope it did was get your mind going and your wheels turning on some things that you can incorporate into your life this upcoming year of 2025, and some habits that you can start to implement into your schedule, into your lifestyle, into your workspace, into your spiritual life, into your personal life. And then some outs, which would be some things that you might want to discontinue or leave behind or outgrow in order to get you to your very next level. I know for myself, I'm very in a space of focusing on my assignment, focusing on what I have been placed on this earth to do, specifically this year, because sometimes we can be so, there's like two types of people. Either you're a type of person that you focus a lot on your past, and I find that the person that focuses a lot on their past sometimes struggles to move forward, and they struggle to be in the present, right? Because they let the events or the moments of their past keep them from where they need to be right now. And if that's you, my prayer for you is that you can release the moments of your past, the mistakes of 2024, or the misfortunate circumstances that you may have experienced in this current year of 2024. And my hope is that you can release those things and walk into the newness of 2025, because there is so much in store for you in 2025 that awaits you. There are people that are assigned to your life in 2025. There are environments and rooms that you belong in 2025. And if you are so focused on the mistakes that you may have made in 2024, or the things that did not go right for you in this past year of 2024, it can become a mind block into your life in 2025. It can become a spiritual block to your life in 2025. It can become an emotional block. It can just hold you hostage. And I don't want that for anyone. I would love to see everyone flourish, soar, and thrive into their next season, into their destiny. So that's what I hope for you if you're that type of person. Now, there are some of us that live right in the moment and we just take it day by day. And I am really trying to be more of that person. I'm trying to take it more day by day, life for today, because even in the word, it says, take no thought of tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow has worries of its own. So I'm really working on this year, take it in the moments day by day. But I am more so on the other side. So you have the person that thinks a lot of their past, and they sometimes let their past hold them hostage. And then you have the person that more thinks of the future. And that's kind of where I am. I'm very future focused. I'm very future oriented. I'm always thinking of what's coming. I'm always thinking of what's next. I'm always thinking of the vision that I'm seeing for the next. I'm always planning for, like, personally, I've always been like this, but by the time the new year comes around, I'm already halfway into that new year. I'm already in next October with the way that my mind works, right? The way that I receive information, the way I process information is very forward focused. And sometimes I have to remind myself to just stick to here and now. Like, for example, I'll have to say, Kamisha, it's December 31st at 2:14. You don't need to be worrying about next September. You don't need to be worrying about next November. You don't need to be concerning yourself with this, and this. But that's just kind of how my mind operates. So I always have to like reel myself back in and say, just live for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just focus on now. So that is an out for me, is like getting too far ahead of myself, right? And so if you're that type of person, because I am friends with people that are also like that, they're kind of like so much in the future that they struggle with accepting things that are happening now. And sometimes with us, if things are happening now that don't look how they're supposed to, then we think that is affecting of our future. And I'll just share this with you guys before I wrap it up. But I was facing an obstacle just a few days ago. And that current situation or that obstacle I was facing, it looked nothing like what I saw in the future. It looked nothing like it was supposed to look in regards to what I know will take place in the future. And I'm so thankful that the Lord reminded me that what you're seeing right now has nothing to do with what I showed you in the future. Everything that I showed you, that I told you, that I promised you in your future is still up there. You just have to get there. And don't let this one moment, this one instance make you doubt what I've already showed you and told you. And in that moment, I was able to reel myself back in and say, okay, God, you're right. That has nothing to do with what's already going to happen. So for those of you that may be watching, you might be that type of person where you are always thinking about what's to come, but you got to sit back sometimes and enjoy the moment, enjoy those victories, enjoy reflecting on the now. So for me, the past couple of days before this year has ended, I've been in reflection and I've been in a place of like reset, but I've really been in a place of gratitude and reflection because I don't want to just rush into the year 2025 without taking the necessary time to reflect on everything that has happened in my life this far. Just reflect on the years past and where I am now, because where I am now, I couldn't have guessed that I would be here in a couple of years ago, or maybe even a year ago. I wouldn't have expected that I would be in this situation I'm in right this moment. And I'm very grateful for it. So it's important that we take time to just reflect, reset, and show gratitude. And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. That's an end that you need to be taking with you in the year 2025 is a grateful heart of gratitude. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care how much money that you make. I don't care where you live. I don't care what part of the country you're in. An end that you need to be taken with you is a grateful heart of gratitude. Gratitude is a gift. Gratitude is a mindset. Gratitude is a posture. Gratitude is a choice. It's not to say that you didn't go through things this past year of 2024. It's not to say that you didn't have challenges, that you didn't have upsets, that you didn't have unfortunate circumstances, that you didn't have tests or trials, that you didn't have heartbreaks, that you didn't have disappointments. Gratitude is not taking away those things that could have happened to you, but gratitude is choosing to say, in spite of everything that I have gone through, or everything that I have gone through or I have endured, I came out on the other side because I'm still here. And because I'm still here, I choose to be grateful. That is the posture that you need to be having as we cross over into 2025 in a couple of hours. The posture that you need to have is gratefulness. Gratefulness. Matter of fact, I'm going to type it up on here because I want to leave you guys with that. And for those of you who will be watching the replay, I want you to see that. I want you to see that. The number one in, let's see. Gratefulness. Let me make sure I spell it right because I know y'all going to get me if I don't spell it right. Okay. The number one in that you need to have for 2025 is gratefulness. Yep, that's what we need. That's what we all need. Doesn't matter who we are because we're here. That's what we need. Okay. So that's what I'm going to put, and that's what I'm going to close this out with. The number one in that you need to have for 2025 is gratefulness in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, whatever. You need to be crossing over with that mentality, that posture. All right. So I want to thank you guys so very much for tuning into this live. And please don't be afraid to comment on the live. Don't be afraid to let me know that you watched it. Don't be afraid to let me know that you popped in, that you were here. If you got anything out of it, feel free. I'm going to be going live a lot more in 2025 on these platforms because I have gotten a new system that really will help me to go live on multiple platforms. And I'm very thankful for that. In the past, I was going live a lot on Facebook. But as I've moved my endeavors and my assignments to other platforms such as YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, hey guys, I want to quickly shout out my YouTube family, my YouTube subscribers. And while I'm saying this, I want to thank you all who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I have an assignment and a mission for the YouTube channel. I don't make content just because I like it, although I do like it. I do enjoy it. It is very fun for me. But there's some aspects of my YouTube that are strictly an assignment and a call, has a lot to do with my purpose. Topics that I talk about, they're very something I take very seriously, very intentionally. So just like with the previous video I posted earlier today, you'll see it, but it's there. And so I would invite you all, no matter who you are, where you're watching from, if you're watching from YouTube or you're watching from Facebook, I invite you all to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Becoming Kamisha is the name of the YouTube channel. We are growing every single day. I'm very thankful for all of you that are on there. 500 plus of you are in there. And I don't take that lightly. It's not a numbers thing to me. It's a purpose thing. It doesn't matter to me if it was 500 of you on there or 5,000 of you or 55,000 of you. It would all still be the same to me, because it's not about the number of subscribers, but it is about the people that I can impact with this assignment that I've been given. So I want to thank you so much for watching this, and do not forget to be great on purpose. I pray that you have a very prosperous, blessed, productive, powerful, intentional, and purpose-filled year of 2025. I really pray that for your life. I really want to speak that blessing over your life, that the Lord may be with you and that he calls everything you do to prosper. In Jesus' name. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.